Wellness, the Dynamics GP blogster here. Today I want to talk about two new mixed reality controls. That would be Shape in MR, which then allows you to cube a particular space with a two-dimensional shape, and Measure in MR, which allows you to actually capture length, area, or volume of a particular space. So let's see how that is done. The first thing we're going to start out here with is this View Shape in MR Preview control. I'm just going to place this control over here on my screen and just kind of give it some sizing, proper sizing. Just leave it right here. The first thing I want to call your attention to is the properties of that shape. And you can actually change the label that appears on the shape or the control itself. You can also define the dimensions of the cube that's going to be placed in the mixed reality or augmented reality scenarios that you are trying to create. More importantly, you can define the unit of measures, whether that's in centimeters, feet, inches, or meters. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and change this to centimeters. And I'm going to create a shape that is 50 centimeters by 50 in height by 25 in depth. What I'm going to do next is I want to also capture the pictures that I take in my mixed reality environment. So I'm just going to go ahead here and choose Gallery and insert a blank vertical gallery. And for now, I'm just going to leave the gallery without any definition. And here on the Place a Cube control, I'm going to go ahead and click on Advanced. And in my Unchange, what I'm going to do is initialize a collection where I'm going to store in this My Pictures collection all the pictures that I capture. So I'm going to use this self operator here to reference the photos that I'm capturing. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next is here in the gallery, I'm just going to reference my pictures. And then I'm going to add an image. So if we go here to Media and select Image, we can now place an image within this control or this gallery. I'm just going to reposition it quickly and resize my gallery slightly so I can see the images that I'm going to capture. So now we're going to go ahead and select our tree view up here, and I'm going to just change the image to reflect the property that we have for the pictures. I'm just going to call this item dot image URI just to obtain the URI of the image and display the image properly captured from our mixed reality environment. What we want to do next then is we want to go to File and we want to save this application. And of course, if we are prompted to publish it, what we'll do is go ahead and publish it and select to publish this version. Now, I'm just going to click here on my phone and I'm going to go to Power Apps and open my Power Apps application for this particular app. So I'm going to click here on Mixed Reality. Since I had previous versions of this app, most likely I got to refresh to obtain a new version. And I'm going to place a cube in this space. So we can go ahead now and click anywhere to place that cube. Again, we can move that around. I'll bring it closer to me. And once I'm comfortable with it, I'm just going to hit anywhere to remove the markers. I'm going to take a few pictures of that cube. And I can even circle around it even more, looking at different angles. And then I'm just going to go back. And now I can see that my gallery contains the pictures that I took. Okay. So this gives you a pretty good idea on the different aspects of this application that will help you with building your mixed reality environment. So we can space out the cube properly. We can imagine this is a shelf. You can get an idea of how that shelf is going to fit in a particular space, and then you can go from there. You just saw how we can cube out the space using the Shape in MR control. Now let's see how you can use the Measure in MR control to actually capture the space dimensions, whether that's distance, area, or volume, or a combination of. Let's see how that's done. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to add a new screen, and that's going to be a blank screen. And I'm just going to move this one up So when I restart the application, that becomes my default screen. Here in the navigation bar, I'm going to scroll down to mixed reality once more, and I'm going to select the measure in MR preview control. This control, I can then adjust it as needed. And as you can see here, if you come to the properties, you will also be able to change the text associated to the button that's being displayed. You can also select the display type, whether that's an icon or text, or just plain text. You can also establish the unit of measure. So you can specify centimeters, feet, inches, or meters. For this particular demonstration, we're just going to select centimeters. Now, the measurement type that you capture, you can specify with its area and volume, distance, and volume. So let's say we want to capture area, and that's going to be interesting because it supposes that the MR control is going to have some algorithms that are going to look at the different points that we're capturing, and it's going to automatically figure out what the area is for that particular set of segment points. Now, in the advanced properties, there is also an on-change action. And in order to leverage this on-change action, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the gallery, and I'm going to select a vertical gallery where I'm going to capture the different area segments. So I'm going to come back to the measure in MR control, and I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm going to select on change. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize a collection where I'm going to call this my measurements, which will store the different segments of the area that we're going to measure. So now I'm going to type self.measurements. That's it. That's all we need for now. There's also a measurements detail that gives you more specific information about units, etc. We're just going to go ahead now here to the gallery, and we're going to actually point this gallery to my measurements. And as you can see here, the title automatically acquires the unit, and the subtitle also is referencing the unit. Well, I don't need 2 units. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace this for this item dot length, and here I will display the units. I don't need the image, but it's not bothering me, so I'm just going to leave it in for this demonstration. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to File, I'm going to save this application, and I'm going to publish it once more. So I'm going to bring up my phone again, and I am going to launch the mixed reality application. So I should get prompted to update the app at some point. So I'm just going to tap to update. So I'm just going to click on this button or tap on it. And again, since we're capturing the area, let's say I want to capture the area from this socket. So I'm going to click on the plus sign here, or tap on the plus sign. And I'm going to take that all the way to the frame of the door. And I'm going to click here again. And I can immediately initiate the point from there on to the top next to the hinge, and I'm going to bring back that to the socket once more. And I want you to see how automatically this control is able to snap the points together. So now you can see the area that I just captured. And if we do a little bit of a close-up, you can see that we have 1.03 meters by 1.52 meters by 1.83 meters. So I can submit this, and back in the app itself, I can see the different calculations that were captured. I just wanted to show you how this worked, how the mixed reality controls are very responsive and interact with your camera on your device. So you can get a feel for how this can be used in different environments and different settings. Thank you very much for attending, and I will see you in another episode where I'll be talking about more Power Apps or Power Automate, and in general Power Platform goodies. So talk to you soon.